Salute everybody out there. Salute, man. I'm Bruce Goes here. Just getting used to this StreamYard stuff over here, man. I don't want to screw it up too badly. I'm here with my brother Big Duke, man. Big Duke's a competitive bodybuilder, good friend of mine. We do a show on Friday afternoons, man. It's called Fourth Quarter Talk, and Big Duke is getting ready to do a competition right now. We were talking yesterday on the phone, or the day before on the phone. We're talking about bodybuilding throughout the days, man. The professional end of it, all the craziness and the weirdness of it, man. And we said, hey, man, instead of chopping this up over here on the phone, why don't we do a show tomorrow and we'll bust it open? We'll talk about the real deal, because a lot of people dig professional bodybuilding. Hey, shout out to Punch Smollett out there, man. Salute, bro. Remy, thank you, my brother. First of all, I want to introduce you to my man Big Duke over here. If you've never heard of him, Big Duke, tell him a little bit about yourself and what you're getting ready to accomplish right now, man.
What it do, man. Salute, brother Bruce, man, for bringing me into the building. Salute everybody that don't stop in, man. Yeah, man, I'm getting ready for a competition here this coming May, and you know what I'm saying. So, if you haven't seen some of my workouts, man, come join me at Fourth Quarter Talk. You know what I'm saying, and you can see what I do and what I talk about. And brother Bruce, come over. We talk about health, wellness, and stuff like that, and trying to get you guys to stay here for longevity. And we mix it up some, you know what I mean? Mix it up with some boxing talk and all that good stuff. But the main thing is about health and wellness, and try to keep you guys on this planet a little bit longer.
That's what we do. But today we're going to talk about bodybuilding, about the professional bodybuilding. And I know, Duke, you've been following it for a while. I've been following it for a while. And I mean, some of these bodybuilders, man, in fact, most of them, they just take it to the extreme. Right. I mean, it's a crazy game. When you've been around it long enough, you see some of the crazy aspects and how it's evolved. I mean, like I'm gonna put a little thing up over here. We're gonna look at five of the top world's top bodybuilders over the last 50 years or so. Yeah. I mean, and the extremes. The extremes we've seen here. Hey, Slide Encounter, bro. Thank you for stopping in, man. Thank you for stopping in. The first guy on the left, that's Charles Atlas, man. That's the guy that used to get the ads for, the bully kick stand in your face at the beach. And I mean, Charles Atlas, the man was drug free. He believed in health, and he was the original. He was the guru. You look at his body now and you say, man, this guy wouldn't even he wouldn't even be a call out in a professional bodybuilding competition today. But bro, I mean, this was revolutionary. This was hard work. This was bodybuilding. People looked at bodybuilding. What are you talking about? I know house building. I know how to build a whatever it may be. But bodybuilding, bro, that was a weird thing back then. Even today, it's kind of looked at with a little bit of skepticism. You ever run across that, Duke?
Oh yeah, man. Like you said, man, Atlas, he wouldn't even place, man. And then, I don't know who the second guy is, but then you start getting into Arnold. And and matter of fact, let me just touch on that for a quick. I see Punch Smollett says drug free. Yeah, Punch, man. Here's the thing about it, man. I remember guys, man, listen, I was like 18, 19, and it was called the Spa Health Club. And I remember I was working there, right? And I remember the manager there, I remember it was like in the pump room where the pool, where all the pool stuff is and all that stuff is, right? And he had got a phone call, and I was trying to call him. So I was searching for him, and I went back there and I saw him in the pump room, brother Bruce, and his homeboy was injecting him, in his ass, man, with some roids. And shit. I was like, what the hell? He said, don't say that. I said, man, that's your business. So, man, yeah. So. Punch Smollett, you're right. Drug free with the question mark, man. A lot of these dudes, you don't think so, but they probably was using. I know I caught it in real time.
Yeah. Oh, hey, salute to Cano Loco. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Salute. The fact of the matter is, man, drugs are performance enhancing drugs in bodybuilding I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say 95% of competitive bodybuilders are using something, even at the low levels.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
I've seen amateurs in drug-free competitions. You know, when I was in the nutritional business, the biggest seller around contest times was the masking agents. You know, the flush and the strip, the things you drip down, you drink down, so you piss clean in the cup.
Yep.
And I mean, some of these bodybuilders, they'd rather be known as gay. They'd rather be known to take it up the ass than they'd be known to, you know, somebody say they stuck a needle in their ass. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Right. And I will sit there and say, to add to this right here, I'll add the two names on this right here is Phil Heath and Lee Haney. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely add those two guys. You know what I'm saying? Phil Heath after Ronnie Coleman, and Lee Haney before Ronnie Coleman. You know what I'm saying? But this is a good list right here too. And also we can't forget Dorian Yates as well.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
there's so many of them. The second guy is Eugene Sandow. You know how they have the Sandow Trophy? That was named after him. He was a strong man.
Okay.
Yeah, that was that was one of the first guys to do the amazing feats of strength. He's probably got that 100-pound dumbbell in his hand. He'll probably press that over his head 20 times, then switch it to the other hand. I mean, he was he's the guy who kind of introduced freaky lifting into bodybuilding. You know, where you can see Charles Atlas, he's natural. I mean, you can see he push-ups, sit-ups, you know, pumping iron, but not to the extent where, you know, even Arnold, you know, some people say Arnold was all natural, bro. Even Arnold admitted to it. Arnold wasn't all natural, bro.
He admitted he was on it.
Oh yeah, and he had to have bypass surgery not long ago. And affects a lot of these bodybuilders in there, man. It's incredible. But Ronnie Coleman, man, Coleman, he came on the scene. I think, you know, he was on the scene for a while. I remember him in the 95, 96, 97, always in the pack, like, you know, with Paul Dillette, with Chris Cormier, with all those guys. But then I think it was 99. He came out. He looked like an elephant walking amongst gorillas out there.
Yeah, it was a wrap.
It was like, where did this guy come from, and what the hell is he taking?
Yeah, man. Salute, Slugger Sam. Salute, man.
Oh, Slugger Sam's my brother. Is he out there? Yeah, salute Slugger Sam, man. Good guy.
What's up with you?
Yeah, and you know, Slugger Sam, he's another guy. He works out. He takes a lot of supplements. He never flashed that physique of his, but I know he's packing something back there, man. Slugger Sam's a good guy, good brother. Always comes over here to give support. And my brother G5 too, another one, man. Thanks for stopping in, bro. I mean, you know, and Ronnie, as extreme as Ronnie took it, you know, you look at Phil Heath standing next to Ronnie. I mean, just that leg separation. That's
what you call it. That's Big Ramy, right? That's Big Ramy.
Oh, that's Big Ramy. I'm sorry,
it's Big Ramy.
Okay, man. Well, Big Ramy's another one just passed away recently.
No. He's still here with it. Big Ramy, he's still here. That's Sean Roden.
Sean Roden. See, Duke, I got out of the bodybuilding game. I got out of the competitive bodybuilding game in around 2005, 2006. I just kind of didn't. I stopped buying the magazines. I stopped. You know, I fell back into boxing again, and it's really tough when you have passion for two sports to follow them. Because I mean, I was the kind of guy who'd have those. I'd have those guys on the wall in my gym. Man, you know, I mean, I was eating what they told me to eat. I was lifting what they told me to do. I was enamored by these cats. I used to go to a lot of amateur shows in my area, and they'd have guest poses. They had a cat there, David Jumbo Palumbo.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Big Ramy is the reigning champ. He's the reigning Mid-Olympian champ. The guy on the far right. You know what I'm saying? He's the reigning champ. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna try to reclaim his not reclaim it, but try to keep his throne. You know what I'm saying? Coming up here in October. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna try to keep that. I mean, there's a lot of competition out there. I mean, Chris Bumstead, even though he don't compete in the same category, but there's a lot of competition out there, man, for him this year though. So we'll see what's up. I mean, so.
And Mr. Olympia, that's the plateau right there. That's like the world undisputed unified heavyweight champion right there, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And that's and bodybuilding is not there's not a lot of money in bodybuilding. A lot of people don't realize that these guys, they pretty much do anything, and just their bill for their drugs is astounding. And the food they have to eat, the protein they have to consume. You know, most of the guys do personal training, and you know, a lot of them do. You know, they dance at clubs. I've seen some you know, a real dark side of bodybuilding where they, you know, there is no other way to make money, bro. It's like it's a sad situation.
Hey, let me give a shout out to G5 Gabe. Salute, man. Salute for that, man, for checking me out. I appreciate that, G5 Gabe. And also Slider Counter. That is one of my top 5. Franco Colombo was a beast, man. I was talking about that to Brother Bruce the other day. Franco Colombo is one of my top 5, man. They called him the sardine something. I forget what they call him, because he was small in stature, man, but he was a beast. Salute for that, Slider Counter. Go ahead, Brother Bruce.
Yeah, this was another character right here, bro. The Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno.
Oh yeah.
And there was the major competition was Lou and Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day. I mean, the movie Pumping Iron was just about those. Pretty much they were the stars of it. It included the whole field of bodybuilders back then. Amazing movie. If any of you guys are into it and into bodybuilding, check that movie out, man. And you know what I like about it too? Arnold and Lou pass a joint around at the end of the competition.
That's it, man. That's it. Hell yeah.
But yeah, man. No, that was the beginning of the freaky mass days of bodybuilding, where I mean, you know, it was size, and throughout the 90s, size became important at any cost. I mean, I've seen some of these characters where, I mean, obviously, how many bodybuilders passed away prematurely?
Oh man. Oh yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Because Lou Ferrigno topped in at 6'4", and on I think it's around 6 feet and stuff like that. But we was talking about that too, guys. And I'm gonna say this, and Slider County, you dropping some gems right now. Honor used to play mind games all the time with Lou Ferrigno and other competitions, guys, and just be mindful. Again, it's free right now on YouTube. It's called Pumping Iron. If you haven't watched the movie, go watch it. And answer your question, Brother Bruce. Man, listen, we talked about this, guys. Like, these guys right here from this generation, from like the 70s to the 80s, they are dying of pretty much old age. The new generation from like the 2010s on up, dying prematurely, dying 43, 44, 45. You know what I mean? Substances, PEDs, big time. Go ahead, Brother Bruce.
Yeah, no, keep going, Duke. I want to bring something up about that. I want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's because you still got guys like Robbie Robinson, that's 76 years old. They better known as the Black Prince in the building. He's still going at it. You still got guys, even though Ronnie Coleman is out there. You know what I mean? Mr. Quad Father himself, Tom Platz. You know what I'm saying? And that's where my mentality came from when it came to working out. Mr. Tom Platz himself, that mentality right there, I use that in my training today. Like we said earlier, Dorian Yates, those guys right there, even though they did, I mean, some steroids, stuff like that, these guys of today, Rich Piana just passed away. You know what I'm saying? Sean Roden just passed away. George Farmer just passed away. All these guys just passed away, guys, at an early age. And also on top of that, they died in their 40s. And I think George was he was like 37.
Well, his Rich Piana died at 45. Mm-hmm. And the thing about Rich, he didn't deny the steroids. You know, right. Rich wasn't a professional competitive bodybuilder. Rich was into the supplement industry, and he did a lot of meet and greets at shows. I mean, he did the expos, but he was just look at the guy. He was a monster, and he was like that all the time, man. Rich Piana, he lived George and he Peterson. Died bodybuilding, man.
Yeah, that's it, George Peterson. I'm sorry about that. Actually, Rich did compete. He competed.
Younger. Yeah, in NPC.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, George Peterson. That's right. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that.
You know, and then there was Dallas McCarver.
Oh man, Dallas. Oh shit. Yeah, I forgot. Oh man, he was going to change the game. Dallas McCarver. He was going to change the game, Bruce. He was going to change the game, man. He was going at 26. That's sad as hell, man.
It is, bro. It truly is. And then we look at 26. What a way to die. And Andreas Munzer. This man was cut. This man had the lowest body fat percentage on stage. He was chiseled. I mean, you could shed paper on his skin, and conditioned. And it was the diuretics, man.
Mhm.
That's the thing that the federation, they overlook steroids, the IFBB.
Right.
But they don't overlook diuretics, because diuretics, that's what bodybuilders drop dead on stage from the use of. I mean, and Andreas, tremendous competitor. I believe he died from stomach pains he experienced on stage in 1996, and sad, man, sad, untimely death from massive amounts of steroids and diuretics. And another one, Anthony DeRizzo. This guy's from my hometown, my state, Rhode Island, man. He would hang around in the gyms. I knew Anthony, man. He was a monster, and he even had a heart surgery. There was when he had he had tricep surgery, and they found out that he had an existing heart condition, and his doctors told him to stop doing steroids or you're going to die. But
Mhm.
that was what it was back then. They didn't. Death was not even a concern. It was to get bigger at any cost. It was sad. I saw it, man. I saw younger guys who weren't even pros that were abusing the hell out of their bodies, man.
Yeah.
Sad situations, bro. Sad situations. Hey, TS, salute, Tyrone. Thanks for coming in here, man. I don't want to miss anybody who slides in here, bro. D-Ray, my brother, always showing support, rolling with the punches, man. Macadocious Mac of the South, man. Salute and thank you guys for coming in here. Volts UK, man. I know Tuesday prime time. You could be anywhere else, man. My brother A-Rod over here, man. Thank you for coming in, man. But and we're here to talk about something we don't usually do on the boxing channels. We're going to talk about some professional bodybuilding here, and some of the extremes that these guys go. But like Anthony DeRizzo, I remember when he died. I remember his. One of his girlfriends was working for a guy that I would buy protein from, a protein wholesaler. He blended his own. Another guy who was high up there on the amateur bodybuilding scales. But anyway, they came in, and with Anthony DeRizzo, I'm saying, man, I was like, I was kind of shocked, and they were talking about the next competition. It was, it's that kind of a mindset. NASA El Sanabate.
Oh man, yeah.
He was one of the greats in the day. The man could speak several different languages. He had PhDs from universities. He was a genius, basically, and he was arrogant. People thought he was arrogant, but he was really just clever. Great sense of humor. But they say he should have won the 1997, I believe, against Dorian Yates.
Mm-hmm.
And they said the only, a lot of speculation. They said he wasn't an American, so they didn't give it to him. But neither was Dorian Yates. So I don't know how that fit in. But NASA, he died at 47, man. You could see him start to fail on stage. When he had his peak against Yates, and then he would drop back in competition. He would drop to like 4. And then he'd go out of the top 5, and you could see, the body is just not meant for that kind of abuse.
Right.
And it's just it's Greg Koufax, man. Greg Koufax. Anybody used to use Muscle Tech supplements back in the day. This was their spokesperson. This was the guy who walked around 400 pounds ripped. Freaky guy, never placed well in competition because he just didn't have the symmetrics, because that's the thing about bodybuilding too, man.
Right.
It's so subjective. You could judge one guy and I could judge one guy, and it's worse than judges in boxing, man. It's crazy how judges have their favorites, and they overlook certain flaws on bodies, because it's a sport where you can't neglect anything. Duke will tell you, man, you can't neglect any muscle group in your body.
Right, exactly, man. That's it, man. You just said it, brother Bruce. You everything got to be top tier, from your forearms to the trapezius muscle, the calf muscles. You got to touch everything, man. You got to touch everything. You can't neglect anything. Not when it get to that stage right there, the Olympic stage. You can't neglect anything, like brother Bruce said.
No, even the striations in your glutes.
Facts.
It gets that intense. Almond Brown, thank you for coming in, sister. Appreciate it, man. What do you guys think about about Nick Walker?
Oh yeah, I was just typing in the chat, man. He's gonna win. He's a beast, man. He's like a little tank. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gonna win. He's gonna be the he may give a big Ramy a run for his money, but I think I can see him. He next up. He is definitely next up. But I want to touch on this real quick. That going back to them death, man. My favorite. Salute to my man Ronnie Coleman. That is the beast. But my favorite all the time bodybuilding is called, if you haven't heard of him, it's named Jurassic Paul Dillette. And they call him Jurassic Paul. And I talked to him a couple of times on Instagram. That was my favorite right there. And he actually said, brother Bruce, when he collapsed on stage at the Arnold Classic, that he was so dry that they couldn't put an IV needle in his veins, and he was legally dead for 1 minute. He was legally dead for 1 minute. And I can relate to that. I can relate to that. And I don't want to get into that. It's not the show for it, but I can relate to that. But that's my guy right there of all time. He never won it. I don't know why, but Paul Dillette, that is, for me, he should, they call him Jurassic Paul for a reason.
I'll tell you why I think he never won it, man. It's because of his posing.
Yeah, his posing. Yeah, that's what he said. What's up,
look at the vascularity in that freak.
Yeah, man.
I mean, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get a few veins popping on my biceps and on my chest, and I thought I was a hot shit. And I look at somebody like that. It looks like he's got a can of worms under his body on under there, man. It's just freaky beyond freaky, and that's what we go for. But the sad thing about it is, man, I mean, we look at Paul Dillette and what he was, bro, and this is this is the reality.
Yeah, that's Photoshop though. I see that a lot floating around, man. That shit chopped and screwed right there, man. They did him wrong on that, man. Yeah, that is Photoshop, man. That's Photoshop. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this one's Photoshop, bro. Chris Carmichael, another great bodybuilder in the early 2000s.
I remember him, man.
I remember him saying Mike Tyson gave him a sucker shot in the club he was working at one night, and it didn't faze him. He turned around and looked at Tyson, said Tyson back down. I don't know how true that is, but man, it was floating around those bodybuilding boards back in the day.
Yeah. Yep.
And we were talking about premature deaths in bodybuilding. This was one that I just heard last week, and it just happened a couple of weeks ago, man. Tom Prince.
Oh yeah. That's that is hell right there, man. God.
But and as much as the other photo we saw was photoshopped and over exaggerated. I mean, the fact is, keeping that muscle after you stop competitive bodybuilding, after you get off the drugs, it's just so evident, and it's
right.
It's a sport where you just don't see athletes look like that, from competing to non-competing. Some of them actually look better. You see some of the even the bodybuilders today of yesteryear, like Robbie Robertson, even Arnold. I mean, those guys look healthy. Granted, they did abuse drugs, but not to the extent that the guys are doing today.
Right.
I mean, and I've seen some of the stacks that these guys are using, and not in the magazines or online. I've seen it in real life. I've seen these guys, what they're laying out, and it's just mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling how they even survive the competition. Never mind later years in life. I mean, guys who spend in the neighborhoods of $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 a year on drugs.
I would say this too, guys, man. It's three guys that I think from the 90s era that really stand out to me, man, that in no particular order, that never won it. They only won the Arnold Classic was Flex Wheeler, Sean Ray, and Kevin Leroney. Those three guys, man, was just like, to me, I just think that says 90s right there. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they was cut. You know what I mean? You can put them in on the stage right now and they'll win. They'll win easily, hands down. Especially Flex Wheeler, man. Before he had, I think he had his leg amputated. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Flex was. I think Flex was probably the most perfect bodybuilder to never win the Olympia. I couldn't believe how he didn't win the Olympia.
I agree.
I mean, people strive for a 6-pack, and then they'll get an 8-pack. It seems like Flex had a 10-pack.
Yeah, man.
And the leg amputation. Now, I don't know what that was from, but I know a lot of these guys they abuse growth hormone, and when you use growth hormone, you have to use insulin with that. And I've actually seen 40-year-old former bodybuilders who are insulin dependent now. Pre-diabetic because they abuse growth hormone. I don't think you can safely abuse any kind of a bodybuilding supplement. These illegal supplement, a steroid.
Right.
These guys think they're doing it right. They have some of them even have doctors that are supplying it for them. But hey, man, it's bodybuilding is an ugly world as far as drugs concerned. You look at our brother up there, Tom Prince, just passed away, man. And right there, the picture on the right, he actually looks pretty healthy. He ended up with cancer, and he died very, very fast. He was
smaller than that, right? He got smaller than that, right, Brother Bruce?
Oh yeah. He got very small. I have one of his pictures in here before he passed away. But it's kind of buried right now. But man, the world of bodybuilding is it got to be freaky at all costs. It was sad, but I saw people that weren't even competing for any kind of money, just a trophy, that were just abusing the hell out of their bodies. Really giving the healthy sport because bodybuilding, it's a healthy sport. If you look at it, the nutrition that we eat, the way that we train, it really is. It's the way to make your life last longer and stay healthier. But the competitive part. St. Cruz and my brother, man, salute to you.
Right.
Thanks for stopping him, bro.
I like what he wrote there. He said roids would totally wreck your body. You're exactly right, man. So, like, for me, it was one of those things for me to sit there and take on, because I put clients on stage, you know what I'm saying? So my thing was, I just want to do it one time for the sake of saying I did it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go the natural route and do it that way. And it's hard, God. It's hard as hell. I just told Brother Bruce I just been eating my oats and stuff like that, but it is a challenge. It's a mental challenge. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit there and do your due diligence and work out and eat healthy at the same time. All that, man. And we're not saying, if anyone you guys out here in the chat, anybody watching from a bird's eye view, if you're trying to go down this road right here, you better be prepared to spend a lot of money and train hard, get plenty of sleep, and eat well. If not, you know what I'm saying, you're just going to throw a whole lot of money down the drain. So that's just facts, man. So if you're going down this road, like for me, I'm 6'7", 6'7.5", 275. And I'm showing pretty good now. I'm popping pretty good. Body fat percentage down to, I think I'm at, last time I measured, I'm at maybe 20%. You know what I'm saying? And I got to get leaner than that. And you know what I'm saying? So it is a job. It's a full-time job. Go ahead, Brother Bruce.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And Duke, being a tall competitor,
yeah,
you find it difficult with your posing and just getting your own space on stage, because I know you look at Ronnie Coleman and Flex, all those guys were 5'10". They weren't large men. They look like giants when you walk by them because they're so big.
Right.
But
right.
very few of the Mr. Olympians ever reached 6 feet.
Right. Except I think Dorian Yates was maybe 6'1", 6'2".
So personally, do you find it to be maybe it's going to be a little inconvenience to you, bro?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My man, listen, this is a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing for me, I would like to say one thing for me, guys, is that because I'm tall, I've been blessed to have well-developed legs. You know what I'm saying? That's one plus for me. But my whole, and I go ahead and tell you right now, my thing is pulling out my back more, bringing out my back a little bit more. But my everything else is gonna be good. I am not worried about my arms, shoulders, and stuff like that. But my back, because I'm tall, and that's the main thing that I'm working on now. But my legs, I'm good with my legs, calves, and all that good stuff. But my back is is at the forefront right now. That's what I'm training real hard for. But yes, holding those poses and stuff like that. Yes, because most of these guys, Phil, Heath, Ronnie, what brother Bruce, what 5'10", 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
and, and,
Mad Chad.
and Mad Chad's in here.
Yeah, Mad Chad stopped in the building. What's up, Mad Chad?
Salute my brother Mad Chad, man. Salute, man, and I hope your friends. I wish you peace, bro. I wish you peace. I talked to him earlier today. Now Roland says, Roland out there. I think that your uncle was a bodybuilder, correct, man? Because he said he went from trailer park in Texas to a medical rehabilitation since being there 2 surgeries, lost his fucking legs and crazy, man. I mean, is that? I just overheard my mom talking to an older relative saying my uncle feels he's being held prisoner. That type of feeling, drugged out, and he works out. Roland, we definitely have to get some more information on that. But man, there is a shady side to bodybuilding if you continue, doing the drugs. Because I've seen people who got out of it at the right time, man. I've talked to people who are smart enough to realize that you can't mess with, you can't screw up your endocrine cycle like that. People, the bodybuilders, they go beyond the need for even having sex with their women. I mean, they have to take Viagra just to keep the women satisfied because there's so much artificial testosterone they put in their body. Where Duke, I know people who are retired now from bodybuilding, but yet they still inject themselves weekly with a couple of grams of testosterone just so they think they're gonna look. They think they're looking good, and it's pretty mind-boggling, and you can see how the world of bodybuilding is not for everybody. It really turns a lot of people off when they see it. I mean, they look up there, oh, this is gay stuff, and look at those guys oiled up, and how can you watch that? And bro, I mean, if you participate in the sport like we do, you see how it's sculpturing. You take a ball of clay and you turn it into a work of art. That's what we do with our bodies. That's what we tried to do back in the day.
Right. I'm gonna say Armor Brown said, so they penalize guys for having small legs during competition? Absolutely. But now here's the thing with that Armor Brown is that they do have these, I don't forget what it's called, the swim trunks and all that stuff. Now you can wear those and stuff like that, and then a more physique competition and all that good stuff where you don't have to show it your bottom half. But when you talking about a bodybuilding and you going for your IFBB, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, you got to show everything. Yeah, you
everything.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to train your ass. You have to have striated glute muscles because when it comes right down to you and the guy next to you, if he's got striated glutes and you don't, then you're in last place, because that's what second place is in bodybuilding mode. Yeah. There's first place and there's everybody else. Nobody remembers second place, and it's dedication. I mean, Duke will tell you. You get up before the sun gets up, and you got to get in that gym, and you got to train early, and then you have to deal with clients. Then you have to train again. You do double sessions. I mean, your brief moment of glory is when you get up on stage. All that hard work, you have to time it perfectly. You have to time your intake of carbs, so your veins will pop out. You have to make sure your body is dry. You have to make sure you have the right haircut. You got it at the right time. You have to make sure your teeth are clean. It's a beauty pageant with muscles, and it's crazy, Duke. You're gonna see, well,
yeah.
But now that you're the center of attraction, bro, you're gonna see, man. It's a me game right up until those judges call out that final trophy winner. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Facts, man. And guys, what he's saying is that he's firing on all cylinders right now, because in competition, a lot of judges will tell you that the show, when you win your competition, is won from the back, meaning that your trapezius muscle, your rhomboids, your striatus muscles, and stuff like that. Your calves, your hamstring tie in, how everything ties in, and it, you know what I mean? Because in the front, it goes back to like the gym. If you go into the gym, you see mostly guys looking to the mirror, and I say this a lot, brother Bruce. A lot of guys, mostly guys, they work what they can see, and they neglect what they can't see. So in other words, a lot of guys, they work their shoulders, they work their chest, then sometimes they work their quads, but they neglect the hamstrings, the calves, the trapezius muscles, the rhomboids and stuff like that, the little intangibles. So most of the shows are won from the back. So when you turn around, do that lat spread, that double bicep pose, and you sit there and they want to see the hamstring glute tie in, that's where a lot of the shows are won.
Fact. I mean, bodybuilders know that, but other people in the gym, see, they want to look at the front. They want to just work the buys, especially people that don't have a gym where they can work out in a professional workout situation, where they just have like some dumbbells, and they'll work on their biceps, and they'll neglect the triceps and the forearms, and you see these dudes with they got a freakish bicep, but that's it. People are actually snickering at them when they see people that neglect different body parts. You see the people that don't work out legs, man, and in the summer they're wearing jeans. They're wearing long jeans.
Jeans. 98 degrees, motherfucker got jeans on and shit. That's the worst shit ever, man.
Oh yeah, people shy away from working legs, and especially the back part of legs, the calves. The hamstrings, because it's the complete package. And if you're going to get into bodybuilding, that's what you dedicate a day to work on your chest and maybe your triceps or your biceps. Then you work out another day to just work on your back. And it's pulling exercises. That's what strengthens the back. Pushing strengthens the chest. And then you dedicate a day for legs. And you can't say, well, I'm going to blow legs off today because my legs look pretty good. I'm just going to go to work on my chest and my biceps, bro. That's when you're going to fail at bodybuilding.
There you go.
Every muscle, and when it comes right down to it, the guy who has the biggest muscles in their fingers is going to beat the guy that doesn't. It's everything. You want to look like a freak on stage. You're stripping down to your tighty whities basically, bro. And there's no shame. No, you're a peacock out there. You worked in that gym for the past year. It's time for you to pop. It's time for you to show every muscle you worked on and to smile and be proud of it. Show no fear, bro. You're the killer out there, Duke. You know that you're out there to slay people, man.
Right.
And that's that attitude, man. That's.
It goes back to Brother Bruce. It goes back to everybody watching, guys. It goes back to, say you don't want to work out and train on this level. It goes back to just being in the gym, and being active. One thing we can't do, or you can't do to sit there and get any type of gains, is be a habitual time waster. That's one thing you can't do. You can't be on your phone. You can't be around there teetering around on your phone. Every time your phone rang, you picking up your phone, trying to check it and see what's going on in between sets, in between reps and stuff like that. Put the phone up. Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say it all the time. There was no such thing as back then they have cell phones. Going and getting a phone call from the front desk and all that good stuff. Nah, I will talk to you after this session. And that's how you guys got to do, man. Unless you like a physician or something like that on call. But if you go into the gym, grab your headset, grab your earbuds, whatever, get that workout in, get that training session in, deal with all that distractions later. Because I don't see some guys in the gym literally take a phone call and you can just hear it. It's not about nothing, it's just regular gossip. You know what I'm saying? And sitting on the bench about 30 minutes and get about 2 sets in. I'm like, you're a habitual time waster. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing you can't do and expect gains.
Oh, I have seen everything, Duke. And the greatest bodybuilders, the most successful people I've seen are the ones who get in the gym, no more than an hour, get your workout in, and get out. Because it's not, we all know, it's I'm not talking to anybody when I'm telling Duke this, but we don't grow when we're in the gym. That's when we stimulate our muscles. That's when we destroy our muscle cells. It's after, when the muscles repair and when they rebuild, and you feed them the protein, and you get your supplements in. You get that's when the growth takes place. It's not in the gym is not. People use it for a social atmosphere. Oh, there's hot girls in there, bro. There's some hot broads and ladies. There's hot guys in there. Some like to go in there and strut it out. But man, to me, that's the church. I go there for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And I pray for that 1 hour, bro. I mean, I've left a gym where, you know, my hands are bleeding sometimes, man. You know, I've left a gym with, you know, during leg days, I had to put a mouthpiece in towards the end there because I was starting to jar my teeth. I was gritting so hard, you know.
Yeah. And just to dovetail off what Brother Bruce was saying, guys, listen, when you guys working out, again, you just stimulating muscle. That's all you're doing. Now, you can't out-train poor nutrition. Let me just get that in there too. You can't out-train poor nutrition, or you can't what I call nutritional freestyle. You know what I mean? Some days you eat good, some days you eat bad, but you expect maximum results. You can't sit there and go to the gym and just keep training, but your nutrition is subpar. You can't do it. You're not gonna get anything but a lot of frustration and stress. So that's another thing right there. Be mindful of that. So when you go into the gym, just sit there and create a lifestyle change. You know what I'm saying? Meal prep. Get your meals in. You can't be going to the gym and doing some work, some hard ass work, and then turn around and leave and then eat a whole lot of processed food. It's not going to happen. But another trip to the gym and be like, damn, where my gains at? Well, you didn't feed those gains. You brought a lot of, bullshit into your system. So bullshit in, bullshit out.
No doubt about that. Diet is just so key, and it has to be so spot on. And let me shout out my brother Will Combat Sports, Scotty. Salute my brother Peter Knox out there, man. Salute, bro. Thank you for coming in, man. You know, me and Duke are over here chopping up about one of our favorite sports, man, bodybuilding. You know, we go on fourth quarter. We talk about different aspects of health and nutrition. But over here, I like to get down in the dirt and talk about some hardcore bodybuilding, you know, where these bastards will go at any cost. They'll kill themselves, and a lot of them have, man, just to achieve that ultimate physique, to be better than the guy standing next to him. And that dude over me there, Gunther Schulenkamp. I don't know if you remember him, Duke. The big Gunther Schulenkamp. The guy that's the second one in from the left up there, with the smile on his face, the big blonde.
I don't remember him, brother.
He came on. I think it was 2000. Mm-hmm. Another one that seemed to come out of nowhere, and I think he finished in the top 3 that year. And they were booing when he was eliminated as the third competitor. You know, like a bodybuilding audience, they love freaks, and he came out as something that people haven't seen before, because it's not how you looked last year, man. It's always, you have to. If you don't improve, you're going to the back of the pack. Right. The judges, they know what your physique looks like, and they know what they want to expect. The top bodybuilders, they'll go ask a judge after a competition with respectfully, how can I improve next year? Why didn't I place higher than this one? And a judge will tell you, because it's subjective. But the professional judges, they know what they're looking for, and you have to know what they're looking for if you want to be successful. Mm-hmm. That's just that's something that I learned. The dedicated bodybuilders, they do more than go on stage, train. I mean, they use the psychological aspect. And somebody was talking about Arnold. Arnold was the master at psychology. Mm-hmm. You know, he said, "Oh, you're gonna blow me away. You're incredible. I have no chance against you." And at the same time, he'd grab your posing trunks out of your bag and hide them on you. You know, mm-hmm. I mean, he would fuck your mind up. But that's probably why he's probably one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time.
Right, and just what we're saying, man. Like, I'm gonna go back to guys who don't know Tom Platz. That's where my mindset comes from. Is the whole Tom Platz. They call him the quad father. He's like one of the most popular bodybuilders that never won a Mr. Olympia. But his mindset, that's what I take from him when it comes to training. Like, you did 15 reps. Okay, cool. Now give me 5 more. Shit, you did 20. You give me 25 more. Give me 5 more. And that right there mindset is with me. Like, I'm different the way I talk on here versus training. When I'm training, I'm mean, I'm shrewd. I'm not real easy to get along with. But at the same time, if you're not ready for that, then that's why I train solo. You know what I mean? Because I'm a different beast. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school iron ass whipper. when it comes to like training, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But it's one of those things where you got to have that type of approach when you go into the gym, because I'm on there, like Brother Bruce said, for 1 hour. 1 hour, I'm in and I'm out, and then I can sit there and chop it up with you after the fact. But not while I'm in there. That's not time to be talking about computer components and shit like that. I'm in there for work.
Facts. Mind muscle. Hey, let me shout out a couple other ones that just stopped in. A couple of my brothers here. Mr. Pads stopped. I think you were here already, Mr. Pads, but you got a question out there. And I think we talked about that earlier, man, about the Nasser El Sanabate. He should have beaten Dorian Yates. I think so, bro. I think so, man. I mean, that was Dorian Yates was coming back from a tricep injury too. So if you look at him, scrutinize his body, it just didn't have the symmetry. But there's something about Dorian Yates, you know, the myth, the legend, you know, it sways judges, because, you know, judges are humans, and you know, I'm a certified judge with the NABF, Natural Bodybuilding Federation, and it was so tough to come to a conclusive, you know, for all the judges to be in conclusion out there. It's tough to be a bodybuilding judge, but yeah, that year I think NASA should have won, man. Absolutely, in my mind, he should have. And if they had a competition today, head to head, Sanabate would be the people's champion, because 90% of the audience that year, they had they did polls. I remember it was Joe Weider had that on pay-per-view. I had the black box, so of course I got it in. But they had a poll: should Sanabate have won? And 90% of the people watching it said yes. He beat Dorian that year, but unfortunately, bodybuilding, politics, just like boxing, you know. Marvin Hagler said, let these fists be the judges, and that's what these freaky bodybuilders are saying, bro. That's why they go to the extreme. It's like let this body be the judge. And
I'm gonna let you answer, Mr. Pastor, through a drop the nuclear bomb up there, man. I'm gonna let you start off, Bruce, and I'm gonna come out after you. Is Phil Heath top 5 of all time? You can take it,
man. You know, it's so subjective, but on his merits, with all the Olympic titles that he won. I mean, you know, top 5. That's hard. That's like asking me to tell me your top 5 boxers out there, man. You know, who can say you're wrong or you're right? You know, that's the way it is with me. Some people say Arnold was the best of all time. I don't see it, bro. I just don't see Arnold as of his era. Yes, probably the best chest in bodybuilding, but I don't know. I couldn't be a judge at a professional competition like that. I just don't see. It's hard, Duke, man. I'll tell you, it's hard.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. You're right. It is hard, but I'm gonna sit there and say, with all his accolades, I would definitely say, yes, because he's 7-time Mr. Olympia. You know what I'm saying? He's 7-time Mr. Olympia. Then I would actually, for me, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this. I got Jay Cutler up there as well. Jay Cutler, man, with the quad stomp. Oh man, come on, man, stop the show. Jay Cutler, that's he's in my top 5. And that's what I was gonna ask you, Brother Bruce. I was gonna ask you to give me your top 5, and then I'm gonna give you my top 5, like bodybuilders of all time. What you got for your top 5?
All right. Let me shout out John McSmith out there, and in shape street fighter. Salute to you, brother. My top 5 of all time. I'm gonna start with number 5 and go up. But man, I'm gonna put Dorian Yates at number 5.
All right.
And I'm gonna put Sean Ray number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put Phil Heath at number 3. You might stomp on me, but I'm gonna put Dexter Jackson, the Blade. I'm gonna put Dexter Jackson.
Okay.
He's my number 2 man. And to me, the top bodybuilder of all time, the freakiest man. I think Ronnie Coleman was it for me, bro. Because you got to remember in the 90s, not 91 and 92, but throughout the 90s, there were only 2 bodybuilders who were Mr. Olympia.
Right.
And that's Ronnie and Dorian Yates. So man, it's tough though, because every one of
It
those
is.
5 that I just named, you could name 5 more, and I'd say DP
Right, right.
Rocker.
I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna go with Franco Colombo. I'm gonna go with Kevin Leroney.
Mm.
I'm gonna go with Flex Wheeler. And this was hard right here. I'm gonna go with Paul Dillette and Ronnie Coleman.
I'll tell you, every one of the bodybuilders we named, because these are elite bodybuilders. These are the top 1% of bodybuilders, and there's some great bodybuilders out there. But these are these are the guys who make 6 figures. There's only a handful of boxers that can make a real successful living at just bodybuilding. Most bodybuilders, they look for sponsorships. They do other things. They do personal training, big money personal training. You go get a session with Lou Ferrigno. That's going to cost you $400 for an hour.
Yeah,
so,
I'm gonna tell you this too, man. And just like you said, we just named some elite guys, and the chat is dropping gems. We left out Lee Haney. And another 8-time Mr. Like I said, it's just one of those things, guys, man. Like this right here, this topic is like, you know what I'm saying? We left out Lee Haney, another 8-time Mr. Olympia. That's crazy. So
that's disrespectful. Yeah. And then there was that little Australian Superman, Lee Priest, with those forearms that were like fucking.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, like I stated earlier, I used to go out and buy that Flex magazine every month. And I look through that and I say, how do these guys get so freaky? I'm taking androstenedione, I'm taking creatine, I'm taking glutamine, I'm doing my protein shakes. What am I missing? And then somebody says, you know what you're missing? You're missing a little needle in your ass. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't see my bodybuilding career progressing like these freaks. But there were cats in the gym who went crazy and did it. And I know people who actually were so nuts that they're dead now. They did stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
Some dude ran out of my gym one day and thought he was going to stop a car on the highway.
Damn.
That's one of the that's one of the crazy realities of it all, because some of these people say roid rage. I don't believe in roid rage. I think somebody's crazy, and if they're crazy, it's just going to make them a confident crazy person. A crazy person with muscles.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad you said that slide encounter, because I did too. Slide encounter just said, man, listen, I'm glad you said it. He said, I always thought Ferrigno muscles had more definition than Arnold. I did too. If you go back and, guys, I guarantee, if you go back and look at the movie, it's free right now on YouTube. It's called Pumping Iron. You go back and look at Lou Ferrigno and you look at Arnold. For me, slide encounter, you are right. I'm glad you said it though, brother. You're 100% in my eyes, at least. Go ahead, brother Bruce. I'm sorry.
In my eyes too, man. I thought Arnold won that competition, but I thought Ferrigno won that competition, but Arnold was Joe Weider's boy.
Yeah,
He brought him from Germany. He got the visa and everything taken care of, and Arnold was going to rule bodybuilding for the next 10 years. I mean, for Ferrigno, great guy, great story, and even successful. The Incredible Hulk. He really made something of himself. But aside from that pumping iron, what was that? 1972?
1977.
Wow.
Yeah.
77.
1977. Yep. Again, it's free right now on YouTube, guys. Watch that, man. You will see how they used to train. And Lou Ferrigno, I'm gonna beat him. He had a issue with his ears and stuff like that. But,
Lou was legally deaf.
Yeah, he's legally deaf. That's right. Mm-hmm.
And amazing, because he can lip read, and he's actually learned how to speak. Amazing guy. I love Lou Ferrigno, man. Especially you see him now. I saw him. He did a guest in the Incredible Hulk movie with Ed Norton. Remember that one a few years back? Mm-hmm. And Lou was sitting behind the desk. He was a security guard. Oh, bro, he only had a few lines, but man, it's just it's so good to see people like that out there. And yeah, I thought Lou beat Arnold, but Arnold was not going to be beat, and even like with Franco Colombo, he wasn't going to beat Arnold. Nobody was going to beat Arnold. Dave Draper, so many of those classic bodybuilders back then. Robbie Robertson, dude, we can go on, and just the evolution. What it is today. It's freaky. I like it, man. I turned my head away from it because I just got into boxing too much. I couldn't totally devote myself to it. And I'm the kind of person where I'm not a very good part-time fan of sports. I have to I have to go in there head first, and bodybuilding, it tapered off for me. But then when I came on here and I started hooking up with you and different cats on the internet, and I started to get my spark back for it. And it's health and nutrition always been there, but yet once we get healthy, once we get leaned out, we kind of like to put muscle on.
Right.
And we like the look of it, and just the mind of a bodybuilder, Duke. You know that, man.
Oh yeah.
You got to be a peacock.
Right. That's right. That's right.
You got to strut it, bro. If you're not strutting it, then you're meek, and like Arnold says, man, the weak ones are not going to succeed in this sport.
That's right. That's that's like right now, man. Like my brother Bruce asked me to come through, so I said, yeah, we can do it. Because after this, I'm about to get off and I'm about to go right into my cardio session. So like he said earlier, I don't know if you guys caught that. Some days you got to double down 2 days in the gym. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that. You got to do that. It's a full-time hustle on top of your other work, your other activities and stuff like that. You got to do it. And then you got to come back and eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff is a key element to your success. Now, granted, if you just step into the gym and you start working out, and if your goal is to lose weight, gain muscle, whatever it is, eventually in 3 months, your goals are going to change. They are going to change. You either want to go get leaner, you want to get more muscle, something's going to happen because your body's going to start to transcend from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3 and so forth and so on. So you got to be mindful of that, man. Just, think about that. When you're going into the gym and working out. Work out for a purpose. Don't just go in there, just for the sake of I'm going into the gym today. Don't just show up and show out.
And I've seen a lot of people, especially in the community I'm in, the natural bodybuilding community. It's attainable, and I've seen a lot of people come into the gym. They had no clue what bodybuilding was all about, and within a couple of years, man, they're living the life, and they'll step on stage and compete, and it's something because it's a whole change of lifestyle. Salute to Tony Boswell out there, man. Derek Bailey, thanks for stopping in. I mean, I've seen people who, they just have no clue about training. They don't know the micronutrients of eating. I mean, they think a glass of V8 is going to give them their daily supply of protein.
Fact, man.
But it's a beautiful thing to see somebody blossom, and they form a dedication where they're not going to miss a session. You know that, and when they do, they're going to call you up and apologize for it and tell you to keep the money and everything else because they got their eye on the prize. And then they'll start asking you about competitions, or maybe you suggest it to them, but you say it's not out of bounds, man. You're looking pretty good out there. You could step on stage a little bit, and then you see that all of a sudden from a businessman, they become a bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying, bro? I mean, you have to. The diet is so key in this game. You can't miss a meal, man. Dude, you're going to get to the point where if you miss a meal, you're going to lose a pound of muscle.
Yeah.
And it's hard to eat the food that you have to eat. Some of these guys, to keep your muscles full and to keep yourself from to stay in shape, you have to eat constantly. I mean, sometimes you have to eat 7 times a day, and the simplest of things are protein, chicken and rice, things like oatmeal and egg whites. Some of the things that would turn a normal person off. Once you get there, once you want to become a bodybuilder, You don't care about the taste anymore. You eat you eat for performance.
Back.
You know, Duke will tell you that. He goes to the gym. He doesn't rely on the restaurant across the street to go grab a burger. You know, I mean, Tupperware is your best friend.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, man. Look,
oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Nah, I just want to close it out, man. I just want to sit there and say, man, guys, tune in if you haven't already, man. Go subscribe to the 4 Quarter Talk, man. You know, check us out this Friday. I got one of my clients. This is the big guy. He was on Discovery Channel and he was on the show Smoke Ring. So if you just Google that, big guy named James. He's gonna be in the building Friday, and we're gonna talk about his journey. He's a 700-pound guy, and he's on his journey to living. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about that again. 4 Quarter Talk at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Man, check us out. Go subscribe to the channel. Me and Brother Bruce gonna chop it up with my brother James, and we're gonna get it in, man. We're gonna get it in. So thank you guys for stopping through. For me, I gotta get this cardio in, this 1 hour cardio. And Brother Bruce, anything else, man?
Brother Duke, yeah, I'm gonna just close it up, man. I appreciate you coming in, bro. I mean, you made the show over here. You know, you're getting ready for that competition. You know, you tell them how it is. We don't sugarcoat it around here. You know, it's you know, we don't blow smoke up your ass, man. This is it's hardcore bodybuilding today. We just decided to talk about this. Peace, my brother Mad Chad, man. I appreciate you coming in here, man. And man, you know, you like Duke just said, you catch us on 4 Quarter Talk on Friday afternoons at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. We always have a good subject on there. We bring good guests on there. You know, we keep it real. We try to keep it healthy. You know, it's all about living longer, living healthier, because I'm seeing so many people right now. Every time my phone rings at night, the first thing I say is, "Oh, who died? Who you know, what am I going to listen to?"
Yeah.
You know, I'm 67 years old, and I'm trying to stay fit. I'm trying to stay healthy. I love chopping it up here about nutrition and health. I love talking about boxing. I love talking about jazz, wrestling, and fine weed, man. I don't know if that's going to kill me or cure me, but me and the Toker too, we sit up here and we puff it up. We're grateful, bro. That's the whole thing, Duke. I am so grateful for being able to chop it up like this, you know, to escape reality a little bit, man. You know, and then to get down in the dirt to talk about the real deal, because that's what it's all about, is health, man, and living longer, being around, being able to, you know, to come up here and talk to us. And bro, I don't know where I'm going. I never do, but hey, everybody, man, thank you so much for stopping in here, man. You know, don't take anything for granted, man, and appreciate every day. Appreciate every sandwich, man. You know, because there's no guarantees in here. The way the world is today, it's crazy out there, man. Everybody that come in here, man, I hope I didn't miss you. I want to shout you all out, because I am extremely grateful for you people coming in here on a freaking Wednesday at 6 o'clock. This is prime time on the internet for me to get over 2 or 3 people in here, man. I think we're up to 16, 17 at our prime. I appreciate it, man. Anyway, man, this is Bruce Goes. Nothing but mad love. I'm out of here, man. Thank you so much for coming in, man. Peace.